let's continue with looking at my Southern California rap collection. And we're going to start off with a big one. This is 2001 by Dr. Dre. My hot take is that this is a very overrated album, but it's hard to deny it as a classic. Now, if you grew up when I did, you couldn't get away from this for years. 1999 on Aftermath. And to me, half of this album is skips, but the highs are very high. Fuck You with Devin the Dude. Still DRE. Explosive. You got Next Episode. Let's Get High. I'll never forget these songs. Housewife. Some LA shit. You got 10 amazing songs on here. I saw the Up in Smoke tour when it came. A friend of mine had like 3 tickets and he asked me to come with him. Who was there? I mean, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Ice Cube. Basically the NWA without Eazy-E. West Side Connection. Warren G. Exhibit. There was a million rappers there. Million big names, and that was probably one of the first times I ever got kind of drunk before the show. I'm not really a big drinker. I don't drink at all now, and I didn't drink when I was young. Kind of more of a 20s thing. But one of the guys I came with, he just knew someone who bought us a case of beer, and just the 3 of us just pounded the whole thing in an alleyway before we hit the show. With 0 experience before that, so I was feeling pretty good, but kind of forgot about that. I just remember the show. Corrupt. The Streets is a Mother. This is one of my favorites. 1999, Antra Records. This is the second Corrupt solo. I Call Shots. Who Ride With Us. Never Gonna Give It Up. The title track, Housewife from 2001 also appears on here. And there's also a hidden track called Calling Out Names, which was kind of a big deal at the time because he was dissing a whole bunch of East Coast rappers, predominantly DMX, who was a major star at this point. The Game, the documentary. This is his debut full-length album, at least for a major label. And this is when he first signed with G-Unit, Aftermath, Interscope. It was a big deal. I was in college at the time, and I've never been much of a club guy except for, those college years. And songs like How We Do, Hate or Love It, you couldn't get away from them if you went to a club at night. But my personal favorite songs are Dreams and Like Father, Like Son. Death Certificate by Ice Cube. I believe this is his second solo album. This came out 1991 on Priority. And again, the old Ice Cube albums I haven't listened to in a long time. But it does have the legendary No Vaseline, one of the most brutal diss tracks of all time. Again, that was going to his old NWA partners, predominantly Eazy. Rhythm and Gangsta by Snoop Dogg. This was on Geffen and Doggy Style in 2004. And this album actually is a good one. It's got a real big variety of stuff. It's got Drop It Like It's Hot, which is kind of a hit to this day. Can I Get a Flick With You with Bootsy Collins. Ups and Downs with the Bee Gees. I got to admit, that song Signs with Justin Timberlake, I like that one. Perfect with Charlie Wilson. The title track says it all, Rhythm and Gangsta. It's not an R&B album, but it is kind of a smooth, commercial, somewhat laid-back album. Take a Look Over Your Shoulder by Warren G. This is his second album, 1997 on Def Jam. This is nowhere good as his album before this and after it. But you got What's Love Got to Do with It, a play on the Tina Turner song, and Smokin' Me Out. Those are my two favorites. Who can forget The 7 Day Theory by Machiavelli or Tupac? 1996, Death Row Records. This is an amazing album. I saw a thread online just kind of discussing it, and I just saw some random posters say Tupac was the Michelangelo of rap. And that might sound funny, but I definitely subscribe to that. He, like, along with peak Outkast, he took it to something beyond hip-hop. I'm not disrespecting hip-hop, but a lot of times it's just kind of music that sounds good to me. But this album, it just touches on a lot of real issues. Very musical. Some of Tupac's best performances. At the same time, there is that negativity of his later years where he's dissing people all over the place. You got Toss It Up with Aaron Hall, Casey and JoJo. And I think there was another R&B singer on there. But it kind of sounds like No Diggity, that Blackstreet song. But then when Tupac starts rapping, he starts dissing Dr. Dre all over it. Crazy is a classic song. Just Like Daddy. Against All Odds. To Live and Die in LA. I love that one. Hail Mary's probably the most popular song on here. 10 out of 10. Coolio, It Takes a Thief. I want to say this was like his second full-length album. Tommy Boy, 1994. I was like 12 when this came out, but I remember all the kids were into it. Gangsta's Paradise was the one after this. What was the big song on here? There was Fantastic Voyage. But yeah, I always used to, for years I kind of thought Coolio was kind of a joke rapper, but he wasn't. His early stuff too, he was with, he was down with WC and the Mad Circle. Now, the last two albums I discussed today are going to be kind of cheating. One, I told you I already talked about my Ice-T CDs, but I didn't throw Body Count in there. This is the second Body Count album, Born Dead. I'm very familiar with the first three Body Count albums. Everything in the recent past I haven't heard. But I like the title track, Body Count. Well, not the title track, but there's a song called Body Count. Necessary Evil, number 4. That's probably the best one. And there's also a cover of Hey Joe by Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, Body Count are a rock band, but Ice-T's the leader. They're from LA. I'm going to put it in here. And my other not so Southern California album is Fig Nation. I forgot to put it in my Bay Area videos. But Fig Nation is, I believe, from Sacramento. And he is part of the Sick Made family of rappers associated with Brother Lynch Hung. Who's on here? Brother Lynch Hung, Funk Beta, COS, those guys. And it is Brother Lynch Hung Presents. So I used to be really into this style. It's kind of gangster rap meets horror rap. But when I say horror rap, it's not cliche. It's just kind of subtle. And that's more maybe Brother Lynch Hung than Fig Nation, if I'm being fair. A solid release, not amazing. Speaking of Sick Made, Mr. Doctor, I used to be a big fan of him. But just like the first three, then I lost track. So anyways, that's it for this one. A couple more to come. Thanks.